Okay, so we're going to dig into activities just a little bit. We're going to talk about creating an activity from scratch, just on your own authentic work here. Over on the right-hand side, we've been playing around in Journal so far here. Excuse me. We've been still not done. I'm just going. We've been playing around in Journal. We're going to pop over here to activities where you would see all of your activities here. This is an old sandbox course that I have, so you can see just something that I was playing around in. In order to add a new activity, I'm going to click on this green button up here and come to Assign Activity. The previous ones that I've created here will be hanging out here, so I could reuse things. If I've made this activity, I just click Assign and decide which class I want it to go to. But we need to make our activity first, so give it a title. Any sort of written instructions. And some of the cool stuff here is you can add some other different types of instructions. So this is a really great way to very quickly hit some of those concepts of universal design for learning. Have your instructions written, but also have them recorded in a voice. So I'm recording my instructions here. Notice that I only have 2 minutes to give my instructions, which is good because as we're talking about students, we know that their attention spans or anybody's attention span of just listening to instructions probably shouldn't be any more than about 2 minutes. Notice these videos are all about 5 minutes long. That's pretty ideal. All right, we're done. And then it's going to take just a second to put that in there once I process it, and then we can in a voice. So I'm recording my instructions here. Notice that I only have 2 minutes to give my instructions, which is good. Not bad, right? I could also go in here and add multimedia instructions. So if I wanted to record a video for my students, which I highly recommend you do, if you wanted to write a little note, add outside links, upload, whatever you want. This is part of the reason I had you play around with these different styles in Journal, because it's the exact same thing here. It's now you can just create these and attach them to an assignment. And then if you want to give them like an example, right, you can upload a template in those same multimedia formats. Any sort of notes for yourself. This is actually this really unsung hero of a feature. The amount of times in whatever learning management system I was using, at the time that I would just like type in little notes for myself. I just found myself doing that, even if there weren't, like I used Google Slides a lot, and I would put in the speaker notes just little notes about that part of the lesson. It was a huge deal. You can do things like that right here. And then if you are using the upgraded version right here, you can attach a skill to this. This is great for like standards-based learning or standards-based grading or anything like that, or mastery-based learning. This would be a really good spot for that. I don't have the upgraded version here at this point, and so I'm not going to go into that, but that is something that you can play around with if you have access to it. Once you are done with your activity, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. You simply hit save. It's going to kick you here. You can add it to those different collections. Ooh, I've never actually played around with that. I am going to play around with that afterwards. You can see this small little preview of what your activity is going to be. If I want to assign it right here, these are all the different classes that I've created within uh, Seesaw here. What I love the most is you can come in here to edit the students' folders and skills, and you don't have to give it to every single student. You can just give it to this one student. Awesome built-in differentiation. I love it. So you can make multiple levels of activities. You can assign it to those students. It's so great. It's one of those things that really makes the learning management system powerful. And then if you're utilizing folders just to organize those things, this can be my reading folder. Maybe this is a reading activity. I drop that right in there. That way I can go back and find it later. Once I'm done, I can assign it, and boom, it's in there. Students can see it. Super cool. One of the other things that we didn't really showcase is, hey, what if I want to make this activity, but I don't want to give it to my students right away, right? Just based off of your workflow. You can schedule activities to go. So I'm going to come over here to my library. I'm going to assign this, and down here in the bottom left-hand class, I want to send it to my sandbox class, but I want to schedule it to go for like next week or something. Again, if you've got that upgraded version here, which I think Cascade School District does. Someone let me know if you don't. So kind of a cool little feature built in there in order to be able to just manage your workflow a little bit. Okay, I want you to go into, I think your instructions are on the wrong one. I think your instructions are down here. I'll have deleted all of that stuff. Go around and just play around with discussions in or not discussions. What am I talking about? Go around. It's a little late. Go around and play with activities in Seesaw, and then list some ways that you can provide activities for your students. What are some of the things you would want them doing in Seesaw? That way, we can just start to generate some ideas here as we dig in a little bit deeper.